When you start making films, they may look like this, and you may be 14 years old and look like this. Or you might start a little bit later on when you're 21 and realise filmmaking is something you want to do. Whatever the age you are when you start making films, you'll have no experience, equipment or money. But none of this matters though, the only thing that does is that you're out there shooting something cool with your friends. These clips are from some of the first short films that we made and when we had no experience, very little equipment and money. These films were the building blocks, the testing grounds to see if filmmaking was for us. Without them we wouldn't have the experience we do now, filmmaking equipment or money. Well, we still don't have any money, but we know filmmaking is for us. Welcome to the Film Look. So, your first short films are going to suck, but don't worry about it, everyone's does. They'll not turn out how you imagined them in your head, but everyone feels the same way.
Actually, I just didn't think it would be so shit. Well, that probably won't change anytime soon.
For example, my first short film Road, which isn't technically my first short film, but a film which I class as my first proper short film where I had a script and a clear goal. Only 50% come out how I imagined it in my head, but I'm proud of that 50%. The poster still hangs up on the wall and I see it every day, which is a little tip. Make posters for each one of your films and print it off, stick it on your wall, it'll remind you of what you've achieved. If you want to watch the short film Road, you can find it right here.
Alright, sorry, I don't think I can do this.
You'll probably worry if your project is going to be any good and have self-doubt. Can you do it? What happens if you fail? Well, you will fail, but so what? Learn from the experience, the good and the bad.
And yes, there's been some tough times, but it's all worth it.
Work out what you could have done better and build on that, but also work on what you did right and build on that. With your first short films, you don't need to worry about getting everything right. 50% of a 7-minute short film isn't bad.
And this is our progress so far.
Is that it?
With every film you make, you will improve and learn from the experience, and this goes for whatever you shoot. You know, filmmaking or filmmaker is a broad term, and making films will allow you to work out what type of filmmaker you are. Do you want to be a traditional filmmaker where you work from a script, have actors, a set and props? You know, you might find out that you hate camera equipment and like the producing side a lot more than the technical side.
Or you might want to be a vlogger, a content creator, you know, filming interesting stories about your life. They can cross over, but there is a difference between the two.
You might find that you like one more than the other, but the only way you're going to find this out is if you're making something and getting it finished. Having a film finished so other people can watch it is the most important part of filmmaking. Even if you think it's not perfect, finished is better than perfect. Once people can watch it, you can receive feedback from the audience, the good and the bad. The good helps to encourage you and the bad helps you to learn. You will get nasty comments, but nobody likes those people anyway.
I always despised you, George. So it's a popularity contest now, eh?
On the topic of other people, work with others to help make your films. Friends, family, whoever is interested. They don't need to be filmmakers, but having people to work with is a lot more fun. Plus, you can't really make a lightsaber fight film by yourself. When you make your first short films, you will be the writer, the director, the DOP, first AC, AD, sound recorders, costume and props department, and do every other role. This is a good thing. It will allow you to learn the basics of each role and work out which one you like the most. Doing everything will also mean you will have to compromise when making your films because you will be concentrating on so many different things at the same time. When I made my final year film for university, I didn't get anyone to read over the draft of the script, help me shoot it, or look over the edit before I screened it. At the time, I didn't want people to see what I was making because I didn't think it was going to be very good. This was a mistake I made. Working with other people will make your films better and you'll have a lot more fun doing it. Even though I might not like watching that film back, it's finished, exported, people have seen it. Finishing the film allowed me to make the next one, the one after that, and the one after that. By the way, if you need some advice about your film idea, script or short film, let us know in the comments below or send it to thefilmlook@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. We will give you feedback, but if it's not instant, don't worry, we will get round to doing it.
They do this to test you, you know. To see how long you last.
If I'm giving advice on making short films, I have to talk about filmmaking equipment. The general advice on YouTube is not to worry about filmmaking equipment. Well, I can't really give that advice because it's easy to say when you've got a good camera, lenses and microphones, like lots of the other people giving that advice. Over the space of about 5 years, we built up our camera equipment, but when we had very little, we wanted to get a slider, a gimbal, better lights. You'll learn that the right piece of equipment can improve the quality of your film, and there's nothing wrong with wanting it. What is wrong is not going out and shooting your first short films because you don't have the right equipment.
How long are we going to sit here waiting for help to arrive?
We shot our short film Corpse on a Canon 600D 24-105 lens, a tripod and a 5-in-1 reflector, equipment that we still use. Links to our short film Corpse can be found right here. Not having a slider, gimbal or better lights actually made shooting Corpse easier because we didn't have to worry about setting up lots of equipment and making sure it was perfect. Not having the right equipment allows you to learn about the equipment you could have used to make your film better.
For example, if you're shooting a walk and talk and you don't have a shoulder ray or gimbal, you're just going to have to use your hands. The footage is going to be shaky and maybe distracting to your audience, but don't worry about it, it's not wrong. Put it in your film and get it done. Now you have the experience of shooting a walk and talk, you'll realise that something like a gimbal can help stabilise your camera. You'll find that the right piece of filmmaking equipment can make your film that 10% better, so use the right piece of camera equipment when and if you can.
And if you want to, don't get into debt for it and have a good reason to buy it first, but filmmaking equipment is super cool, and you know what, you can't really be a minimalist filmmaker, you kind of need to have lots of camera bits. So remember, when you're making your first short films, they're going to suck, but everyone's does. Make shooting short films fun and get them done. Work with others, and filmmaking equipment doesn't matter, but it kind of also does.
Tonight is your night. Whatever your decision, make it a good one.
If you've just started making films or you've made 50, let us know in the comments below of some advice you give to young filmmakers just starting out. If you want to watch me watch my first short film for the first time in 7 years, let us know in the comments below, even though I don't want to. Thanks for watching The Film Look, and remember, achieve it one shot at a time.